What's going on, guys? So I just finished up my run. We did 3 miles. We'll show you guys, but I'm doing a little cool down, and there's been some news that just happened, and I'll wait for some more people to get on. But basically, I think it might be too late to save those 2 lakes here in South Texas. Had this been done a little bit sooner, they may have been able to save it, or at least, prolong the suffering of the 2 lakes, which we'll wait till some more people get on. Yeah, that's a lot of doves right there. But good morning, guys. We just finished up running. Now I'm going to cool down, but I wanted to bring up a quick topic on the lakes. So this morning when I woke up, there was a news article that was just published. I guess the city of Corpus Christi just had a meeting, and along with that meeting, they ended up voting. Good morning. Appreciate the likes. Gabriel, good morning. 1680, good morning. So the city of Corpus, yes, good morning to everyone. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, this morning, I woke up and there was a news article on the city of Corpus Christi. So the city of Christi just approved a construction project. The construction project might be a little bit too late to save some of our Texas lakes. Had this been done sooner, maybe it might have prolonged the suffering of the 2 lakes. Dave, good morning. Mr. Kitten, good morning. 1680, say 6'7". There you go, 6'7", man. I said it for you, buddy. I said it for you. Anyways, every time someone says 6'7", I always say 9 to 5 because it's just funny. It's funny for an older folk. But anyways, so they're going to be building some desalination plants. I don't know exactly, the article didn't give me a start date for the desalination plants, but the desalination plants will hopefully be providing the city of Corpus Christi with the water they need. But a caveat to those desalination plants is that they are going to be for brackish water. So meaning that they're not going to be built out in the oceans, or in these areas offshore. They're going to be built in brackish water. So that would hopefully alleviate some of the pressure from Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon, which, if you guys watch the channel, we fish these lakes a lot. More so Choke Canyon than Lake Corpus Christi. But the reason they brought these up, 1680, what's your name? My name is Robert. Good morning. Yeah, so the reason I brought this up is because they just approved these bills. So they've been going back and forth trying to build a desalination plant for a few years now, but they were trying to do it out in the ocean with just straight seawater. But they ran into some issues, ran into some problems, a lot of financial debts and things like that, so nothing ever got done. So they continued to pull water from Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon, which now, I believe Lake Corpus Christi now sits at 10% full, and I believe Choke Canyon is at 8% full. So together, that's 18% full between the two big lakes that we have here in South Texas. So now they're worried, and they basically called an emergency meeting to hopefully get something going for the city. So we may see those two lakes end up going dry, likely. Dave, not in Texas. Yeah, they might go dry. 1680, good morning 1680, how's it going? Yeah, so we'll see what happens with those. Again, they just published this article this morning when I woke up. I went for a run, and now we're doing a cool down. I thought this would be a good topic to discuss, since it affects the lakes we fish at. We fish these lakes a lot. You guys who tune into the channel see me always at these lakes. But like I said, if they had done this project earlier, maybe we could have prolonged the drainage of these two lakes. But they pretty much waited to the last minute to get anything done. So now they're kind of scrambling to find a water source for the whole city. But I think it's going to be too late. 1680, I subscribed. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's going to be too late for these lakes, because like I said, and then recently, more so, I've been seeing a huge drop. Like every time I go out there, the water level has dropped like an enormous amount compared to how it used to. It was pretty slow and gradual, and then all of a sudden it seems to be dipping. And then later today, I have a video coming out, I believe at 4 or 5 p.m. It's a video already recorded. So I went to the Frio River, and I went down and recorded what the Frio River looks like today. And then I kind of walked you back in time and show you guys the water levels back when I was a kid growing up, and then as I grew up, the water levels throughout time. So you guys will see that video this afternoon. It'll come out this afternoon, I believe 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly what time I scheduled it for, but it's between 4 and 5. And you'll see it looks like a creek. The Frio River looks like a little creek now. There's an area on the Frio that is pretty narrow, so there's a little bit of like submerged grasses, but it also has like a bunch of dirt underneath it. And you'll see that it's maybe 12 feet wide in that general area, and in no time at all, it's going to close up the gap, and you'll be able to walk across the Frio River with no water at some point pretty soon. We went fishing on the Frio, I want to say about 4 to 6 months ago. There was another guy out there fishing with me. I had no idea. I just ran into the guy out there, no idea who he is. But he was actually from a similar town like myself, so that's why we ended up talking. But yeah, he said he's noticed the river as well. It's dropping way faster than it used to. Because it used to fluctuate back and forth, but it was never this drastic. And just from the time I went from 4 to 6 months ago, the water dropped another 6 feet, 5 feet. It was a lot of drop. All the gators. Kenneth, where are you running? So we just finished running. I'm running at a local park. I'll show you guys the park. We just finished running. So now we're doing a cool down, and then a little live Q&A talking about the desalination plants. It's a good little stretch out for my legs, so that's why I thought I'd go ahead and walk and talk at the same time. But yeah, it's a park here in Pleasanton. It's a nice little well-kept park for the most part. It's pretty newish. They've redone a lot of stuff out here, so it's nice to come out here. Then we go up to San Antonio. We go up to some of the hill country parks too. We run in the hill country every now and again. But yeah, I don't think Choke will recover anytime soon. I kind of agree with you. I think they did these salination plants a little too late, to be honest. I know that they were working on a project to pull seawater, but 1, desalination is expensive. 2, they ran into a lot of issues and problems. So yeah, I think Choke is kind of done for. I hate to say that, because I really do like Choke. I enjoy Choke. It's a lake that I fished since I was a kid. It's literally the lake that we used to go to because it was the closest one to us. So getting a phone call, let me ignore that. So I don't think so either. Kenneth, it's funny, Guadalupe still has a decent amount of water. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about up north in Texas. North Texas still has a lot of water, a lot of the lakes. That's not the same for us here though. The Frio, the Atascosa, so I'll actually take you over to the Atascosa, and that one feeds into the Frio too, and we'll go look at that one here shortly. Let me walk over there. We'll walk all the way down to the end, and I'll show you guys that one too. That one feeds into the Choke Canyon reservoirs also. So we'll take you down there. That one meets up near Three Rivers. Kenneth, I heard Choke needs repair, but they can't get a barge in to fix the dam. Oh, okay, I didn't even know that. That's probably true. It probably does need repair. They just haven't got a barge in there, more than likely. So we'll walk over there and go check it out. So we'll walk to the Atascosa right now, and you'll see the difference. I mean, the Atascosa still is, it's not a big river. It's a little tiny river compared to like the Frio or the Nueces. It's a small river, but I'll walk over there right now and show you guys the river. Yeah, I've heard the same thing, Kenneth, what you're just saying, that the dam needs some repair. But I mean, I don't know all the details on it, but I'm sure it probably does. It's been there forever. So we'll walk over there right now to the Atascosa and show you guys. But yeah, the desalination plant is for brackish water, not for just straight seawater. I think it was a couple millions they approved for that project. So we'll see. I'm walking over there right now. We'll go show you guys. There's a lot of little fingers to the Atascosa that go all the way up to like 35. If anyone's familiar with that highway, they go all the way up to 35. They're small, like tributaries that feed into the Atascosa. They call them like the East Prong, West Prong, things like that. And those end up feeding into the major part of the Atascosa, which we're on right now. And we'll show you guys that right here. We'll walk down to the end and show you guys what it looks like. Now, I don't throw any, so those of you guys who keep up with the channel, I don't throw the cast net down in these areas either, because I know that there's a lot of debris in the water. But what is it? Any white bass reports? No white bass yet. Haven't really. Well, the place that I usually go, which is the Nueces, it's pretty dry, so I don't know what it's going to look like, to be honest. I don't know what the white bass run's going to look like this year. I've never fished it when it's been this low, so I'm not sure what to expect. But so this is the Atascosa here. This is the Atascosa here, and this one goes down to Three Rivers, which meets up to feed into Choke. I think it goes around Choke or goes into Choke, one or the other, but I know it meets in Three Rivers. I don't know if it directly goes into Choke or goes around Choke and then feeds past, but I know that it does meet in the town of Three Rivers. I think it's the Frio, the Atascosa, and the Nueces. We did see a fish right there, if you guys can see that. So this is what this one looks like. It has a lot more water than the Frio. So for those of you guys just tuning in, we did go to the Frio last week, I believe we went to the Frio. I have a video coming out this afternoon around 4 or 5, and I walked the whole riverbank of, well, not the whole riverbank, but I walk a good portion of the riverbank on the Frio, and you guys will see just what the water looks like there. It looks like a creek. It's smaller than this. So the Frio River is way larger than the Atascosa River, but the Frio looks like a little creek compared to this right now. This river is not that deep though, so when it does rain a lot, this thing does flood, and the water has gotten up to like that tree over there. See where the camera's at. All in there. Years ago, the water has gone up there, and anytime we get any kind of decent flood, this water will definitely go outside the banks. it's very prone to flooding because it's not a very deep river. And we can walk further down and I'll show you guys some more stuff. But yeah, this one is still holding water. It actually almost got dry, I want to say 2 years ago or so. It almost got dry, but luckily we ended up getting a good flood and pushed all the debris out. It was just piling up debris for the longest time, but they finally got a good I went to Tips Park about a week ago. Still has decent water. That's part of the Frio too, right? Is that right? Tips Park? I'm not sure if Tips Park is part of the Frio. Looks like a creek to me, not a river. Dude, yeah, good morning, dude. Yes, yeah, this one's not that, like I said, this is a river, but it's small. It's a small river. This one does have fingers that are up north called the North Prong and South Prong, or I think they even have like a east and west. I'm not sure, but I know for sure. I know I passed a couple of them. I don't know if it's southeast or west or north what, but there's 2 prongs that lead into this part of the river. Now the prongs are like half the size of this river here. Now the Frio River is like 3 times the size of this, where we go down and fish, where we used to go down and fish. It's no longer existent really for fishing. And like I said, I have a video coming out this afternoon, and you can see how deep the Frio River is. The Frio River is less deep than this one now, and it's a larger river. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on up north, or what's going on where the water that pools into the Frio is what's happening, but something going on for sure. Kenneth, I think so. Texas River. Yeah, these are Texas rivers. These are not like the big old Mississippi or the Missouri rivers, Ohio rivers, Tennessee rivers, nothing like that. These are small rivers for us. Now, yeah, on the camera it looks a lot smaller. I'm looking at it right now on the camera. It looks pretty small, but yeah, it's a Texas river. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. We'll go ahead and keep on walking so you guys can see this creek for the people up north, river for us down here in the south in Texas. This is what we call a river here in Texas. But yeah, this thing still has water. It has more water than the Frio. Now, it's not that deep here though. It's only about, I would say maybe 4 feet deep in the middle. It is somewhat low, but it still has a lot more water than the Frio does. But yeah, we had it almost dry about 2 years ago, and then we got a big flood and it pushed all the debris out. There's actually a lot of fish actually jumping down in here, surprisingly. So fun fact, I used to, oh, look at that right there. I used to do the kid fish. They used to hold, Texas Parks and Wildlife used to hold kid fish tournaments at this river. So they would stock it. I don't know if they would dam it up or how they would do it, but they used to hold kid fish tournaments here in this river. And then from here you would qualify to go to Corpus. And we went to Corpus a couple times. We did the tournament for a couple years when I was a kid. I don't remember all the details on it because I was so young, but I do remember we'd come out to this river and kid fish, and I remember it would be lined with freaking people, man. Back before cell phones were like a real thing, and back when kids were still playing outside, like, this was the thing to do, was to enter these little tournaments, man. And great memories. I remember we went to the tournament in Corpus, the fishing tournament in Corpus, and it was for redfish. And I remember this little girl, probably about the same age as me. I thought she was a little girl, but she caught a big old redfish, probably as big as her. Another crazy cool memory. Again, as a kid, those are things that I remember. But yeah, we'll continue walking down here. So yeah, I remember this river a lot from my childhood. They do a good job of degrading it to hold water in the park. Yeah, they do. 1680 truth or dare. Dare, as long as it's not me jumping in the water. But yeah, they do clean out this river every now and again. They get some backhoes in here and they do clean it out occasionally. But it does pick up a lot of sediment. I'm assuming from upstream it just brings a lot of sediment, especially after the floods. You'll see little sandbars that kind of build up in the middle of the rivers, and they usually have to come out and clear them. There's a little stray dog over there. I don't know if you guys can see him. Poor dog. Looks like a puppy too. Doesn't look like he has an owner. Oh, there's two of them. Two stray dogs. Two puppies. I bet you somebody abandoned them. Somebody probably just threw them out here. Yep. Because they're on the other side of the river. Kenneth used to be a small bass boat, was the top state prize. Used to take my son. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so your son might be around my age then, more than likely. Because I remember those tournaments. And then my younger cousins, I think, were like the last generation that they still kept doing those tournaments for. But man, I loved it, man. I still have those little trophies. I don't know if you guys remember the little trophies they would give out for the catfish deals. I still have my little trophies. Me and my dad have a little like ongoing joke between us, and whoever catches the biggest fish whenever we go fishing together gets to keep like the trophy. So we just move the trophy back and forth between me and him. It's like kind of like a little laughing joke between us. So every time one of us catches the bigger fish, you're like, got the trophy. So 1680, do 10 jumping jacks. Fine, I'll do 10. You know what? I'm gonna do it for you, man. You know what? Because it's I'm working out anyway, so why not? I'll do 10. Get a little bouncy, but I will do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Part of my workout. Now we got these little guys barking at us now. Kenneth, got to run. Yeah, take care, brother. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your Wednesday. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head down to the end of this river. It does lead to a golf course. So there's a golf course at the end of this thing. We aren't gonna be able to make it all the way down to the end because it does cut off here, but we'll get to as close as we can over here. It does pull up, so there's like a little pool at the end, and it does get deeper. I don't know. I see a lot of people do catch some big cats out of there, mainly channel cats. I haven't really seen many people catching any kind of blue cats in here, mainly channels. Some flatheads too. I've seen some decent flatheads, nothing massive. But we'll walk down to this end over here so you guys can see that. Yeah. See. Yeah, a lot of people come on the other side and try to throw the cast net. Sometimes they're lucky, but I know that there's a lot of debris in here. That's the reason I don't throw my cast net over here. I do have some older ones that I will chance it with. Maybe we'll do a video doing that. They're already kind of torn and messed up, so if they get caught, it's not a big deal. There's actually a lot of fish jumping right now. I'm surprised. Usually there's not that much activity. It's usually pretty calm. It's not really known for having big fish in here. There used to be some big gar in here though, on the other side. I don't know if we'll walk all the way to there, but there's another fish right there. I don't know if we'll walk all the way down to the other end, but we'll walk to at least this side here. It's about a mile walk back that way, maybe a mile and a half. Yeah, about a mile and a half. You got to cross some little pipes, and there's a good little spot there that has or holds alligator gar. It kind of pulls up also, and that's where the alligator gar kind of hang out. But yeah, this is there are some bass in here. I've seen there's a guy that watches the channel that's a subscriber. He's always pulling out decent bass, nothing massive, but he's always pulling out decent bass out of this river. So as you can tell, it gets pretty nasty back down that way too. But it's probably good fishing for catfish for sure, or even bass. It does get nasty. We'll get a little closer. We'll get a little closer. But yeah, there's I don't know how long ago it was. Somebody put a boat in here. I don't know how they got it in here, and I think it was like a joke. I think they did it to be funny, but it was years and years ago. So this is you can tell people come down through here. It's about a 3-foot drop from here to here. It doesn't look like it, but it's about a 3-foot drop from there to there. What is the most favorite place? 1680. Favorite lake? My favorite lake that I've actually been to is that's probably my favorite Texas lake. Yeah, it looks like somebody's been down in here. Somebody cut that. Looks pretty fresh too. There's a bunch of dust there. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's somebody down there fishing. But yeah, this is the spot. If you don't mind battling some of the mess, this is probably the spot to go. It's a little bit more isolated. It's harder to get to. A lot of people don't fish this side because it is harder to get to. But yeah, we'll continue walking. Now we'll walk down to the other side for a little bit. The fish are still jumping. I'm not sure what that pipe is for. They have a pipe coming out over here. I'm not sure what that's for. I've never seen water come out of it or anything come out of it, so I'm not sure what it does. It's got a drain for something. I'm just not sure where it comes from. And right now we're in winter here in Texas. For anyone who's watching up north, everything looks dead. It's because it's winter. For anyone watching in other countries, that was actually a nice swirl. Oh, that's a gar. That's an alligator gar. Oh yeah, that's an alligator gar. Holy shit. Right there. See him? I don't know if you guys can see him. I'll zoom in if I can. There we go. Where's he at? Shit. Lost him. Oh, he's over there by that branch. He's right there. He's right there. Yeah. Holy crap, you actually saw an alligator gar. I've never seen them over here. I never catch them over here. I do catch them over there. On the other side, there's a little spot that kind of pulls up. And it's like a little holding hole for them. When the water gets too low, they can't get out. But when the water comes in high, they kind of hold in that area. There's some decent ones. They're nothing like the Trinity River or anything. They get up to maybe, I don't know, maybe 3-4 feet, which is big for this small river. They're not like 6 or 7 footers or anything. Man, another fish. I'm surprised, man. There's actually a lot of stuff happening on the river this morning. I'm not sure why. Maybe the temperature or something. So we'll continue down for a little bit. I'll take you down to the bridge, and then we'll go ahead and end the stream there. Again, this was just my little cool down after a run. So I thought I'd do a little quick Q&A, show you guys the river, talk about the desalination plant, and talk about choke in Lake Corpus Christi. It's probably going to be too late to save them, but we'll see what happens. Maybe once the desalination plant is open, they'll start using that for their water sources. And then once we get a big flood, it'll hopefully recover the other 2 lakes. They'll probably be dry by then, but hopefully they'll collect enough water to where the Texas Parks and Wildlife can restock it. That's a good hope, right? It's a good hope to have. 1686. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with those 2 lakes. I mean, it's promising that they're at least finally going to build something to pull water instead of taking it from these 2 lakes. A lot of us, fish those lakes, especially all of us around here a lot of you guys that subscribe also fish that lake too. I get a lot of questions on the water levels over there. But again, anyone who's just tuning in, I do have a video coming out this afternoon, and I will take you guys down to the Frio River. For those of you guys who are familiar with the river will be pretty shocked at what it looks like now. It's smaller than this, and it's normally it's like 3 times the size of this, the river. So you'll be shocked at what it looks like. That video is coming out this afternoon. So turn on notifications, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's interesting, it's fascinating what Mother Nature can do, and just what can happen to a big, mighty river like that. The whole bridge is pretty much almost exposed, but growing up, you had maybe 5 feet of clearance at one point under that bridge. Now you can run a couple 18-wheelers stacked on top of each other under that bridge. That's how low the water is. So interesting stuff. So the water does get more shallow here, so it was deeper back down that way. And then over here it starts to pick up a lot of sediment as the river gets higher. Which one's better, Xbox or PlayStation? 1680. I have no idea, man. I don't play video games, so I have no idea. I used to play a PlayStation 1 or 2 with my cousin, and that was like 2 or 3 times a year when I was a kid. Other than that, I never played any video games really. I spent all my time mostly outdoors, to be honest. So I don't really know. But the only thing I have any kind of experience with is a PlayStation, and that's like a PlayStation 1 or 2, something like that. But yeah, this little drainage comes from the city too, so the city street water will sometimes come in here and drain in here too. So this is it right here. I'm not sure if it's what part of the city it comes from, but it does drain in here. Once it floods, that thing will be full of freaking water just pumping into the river. That's what's probably the only place I've seen water coming from. And then there was another little pipe that I have seen some water coming from. I don't know if it's over here somewhere. It's by the bridge. Might be this one. Might be this one. Or there's another one. One of these I've seen a little bit of water trickling out, but I have no idea where that water comes from. That one I know comes from like the city streets. These pipes, I have no idea where they come from, but I have seen some water trickling out of this one or that one of those two. And this is where I talk about everybody who throws cast nets in this area also gets their net stuck. I'm sure if we were to snorkel in this water, which you probably don't want to, but if you were, you'd probably find some cast nets in there. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's the ducks. What's up, buddies? But this is a good place to catch bait if anyone's looking for bluegill and stuff like that. Great place to catch bluegill. There's a bunch of them. Maybe we'll do another video just catching bluegill out of here. So it is wet. It's a little bit wet here. What about Nintendo? No, I played a Nintendo Switch more recently, and it was like 2 times when I say recently, and that was pretty cool. But again, I don't really play a lot of video games, but that was about the only time I've played a Nintendo, and that was a Nintendo Switch. Okay, so this is what the river looks like under here. So these rocks weren't here when I was growing up. When I was growing up, these rocks were not here. They just put them in here, I don't know, maybe when I was like a teenager or something. They've been in here a few years, but I don't know exactly when they put them in here. But it kind of slowed down the water too. I think the reason they put them in here is because they were getting a lot of runoff, and it was just washing away underneath this bridge. So that's why they ended up throwing some rocks in here. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Another good spot for bluegill. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the desalination plant in the two lakes, Choke and Corpus Christi. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, guys. I'm going to go back and actually lift now. I'm going to go work out now. But yeah, it's a good little cool down. Appreciate you guys keeping me entertained and busy and coming on a little cool down with me. But until next time, be careful, be good, take care, God bless. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Have a good one.